Hey, Joe. I hope I've got the pronunciation of your name right. Thanks for sending this video through. It's a great looking track, and what a fabulous car to be going around it. Got a couple of thoughts for you to consider in terms of how to go a little bit quicker. Try and find that time that you want to achieve. Overall, there's sort of 2 or 3 areas that kind of are repeating themes, and I think if you can work on those, it'll unlock a lot of lap time actually. So the first one is ever so slightly pinching the corners on the entry a little bit, and what's happening is that, I get that, by the way, that's really common. It happens when you're like maybe a little bit unsure, or you're just keen to get the car into the corner. Yeah, you just want to make sure it's going in there with. Not nervous, but you just want to have that reassurance that the car's going to turn. But I'm hoping that we can talk through this and give you that reassurance. But what's happening? The consequence of that is it's compromising your exits a few times. So there's several areas where I'm looking for you to be much more assertive on the throttle on the exit, and because of that pinching on the way in, it's making it hard for you. So they're the two big themes for this lap, and there's a couple of areas where maybe you could brake a little bit harder, but that's really not my first goal. My first goal is to try and get you to experiment with a different line, the different line on the way in. I feel it's going to settle the car much more, and it's going to give you much more confidence to get on the throttle earlier. Okay, so let's go through it and see. I've got a couple of notes here, so hopefully I will refer to those if I forget as we go round. But overall, it's great what you're doing. It's really good. Let's just find a little bit more lap time for you. So with this one, this little section is actually okay. Of all of the areas of the lap, it's not the biggest area, I don't think, to improve. There are some areas you can improve. So my thinking with this, number one is like you're not braking as hard as you are in other parts, so you could brake a bit later. I do appreciate, however, that there's this big bump here on the way in. Okay, so I get that that's on your mind, and maybe something you want to avoid. What I'm keen for you to do is what's happened is you go through this corner, and then you get dragged into the left hander a little bit early. So what I'd like you to do at this point is to sort of set it up so that you're actually pointing more over here at this area, okay, rather than towards this white whatever marker board or something in the background. So aiming a little bit more to the right, yeah. So you open it up, going right, so that we can open up going left and get on the throttle. This isn't the major area, I'll be honest, but it's just a general theme that is all through this lap. Okay, so let's run through it, and I can explain a bit more. So basically, I want you to be running this curve down here on the right, and what's happened is you get drawn into the left. Can you see we've come over to the left now? And what I'm saying is I'd just like you to be a car's width or half a car's width over further to the right. Build up to it. It's going to feel weird. You've obviously got, like, looking at the delta, it's super consistent. You've got a groove around this track in your mind. So what I'm saying you to do is going to be a challenge to that. So just go steady, but try half a car and then another car's width. And I really want you to get the idea here that we're kind of rotating the car before this bollard, so you can get full on the throttle before that bollard. And at the moment, you're not getting on full throttle until this exit curve. Let's get through it. Can you see? I'd like you to be on full throttle a little bit earlier, but you're good. You're on the limit. It's brilliant. Really, that's great. So that well held. so again, we sort of, there's a little bit tentative, and then the back's gone, but this is good. But the consequence of that is that I understand, you're a little bit hesitant from now on through the rest of this corner because the back's gone. I get it. But what we'd love is maybe to calm that down a little bit, and again to be much more progressive and assertive on the throttle before this bollard. And you can see what happens is we don't you're sort of hesitant all the way through, and then we're not actually full throttle until you're straight again. So what I'd like is you to consider, what can you do to get much more assertively on the throttle before this bollard. Can you hear, like, we're sort of just waiting, not really doing anything. It's sort of in the middle. I'd like it to be much more like, I feel you could be full throttle there. Okay. So again, we've gone through that right-hander and we've lifted, or kind of half lifted or whatever, and you're looking at the delta. You're obviously doing it consistently, which is great, but I feel, again, you could be much more on the throttle through there. And I wonder whether it's because you're thinking about this left-hander coming up and trying to get into it. So again, what's happened here is this is a big one. This is the biggest area that I would really want you to focus on next time. Is this one here? You're really pinching on the entry to this corner, and like people talk about V'ing the corner and all sorts. On this particular corner, I feel that you'd be much better off if, like, at the moment you're heading in this direction here. Okay, and I would suggest, see these tyre marks over here? I know that's gone wrong for these other people, but I would really like to see you much more over to the right. Like, get over here, car width, half, at least, so that you're opening up this corner. Like, really open up. So you're aiming, you're going around and you're trying to aim for that little bit where that car is. Right at the moment, we're heading off into this area here, so you have to slow down, think about things, and then come back again. And I really feel that you'd be better off if you started out, open this corner up on the entry, and if we go, see if I can do this without it jumping around. Ooh, just about works, right? So this one again, so you're coming in. Can you see you're coming in and pinching it? But what I'd like you to do, so this left-hander starts here, right? So what I want you to do, so I can do this again, so be over here. Just try this. Like, it's going to feel weird. So get yourself over here, right, and then come into this corner in a completely different, and what you're trying to do is get the thing straight for the left-hander in the braking zone. Okay. So play it again. Because can you see the line you've taken there? It's naturally throwing you over to the left. And what I'm saying is, I want you down here. That's for me. This is the biggest corner, right? So I want you running down that curve in a straight line, braking hard. At the moment, you end up sort of drifting over to the left, and then it's like, oh, I've got this left-hander to do, and it really compromises you all the way through the corner. Okay, that's just good. I know other people have done that. You can see the braking zone, that's the other line, but I'm just thinking for you, if you want to find some time, I would experiment with trying this other line. Okay, so now you'll listen, you go through this corner, you're literally having to wait all the time, you do the rest of the corner well, but if you just started out from a different angle, you'd be on the throttle and way earlier and more assertive. So let's go through it. Waiting. Can you see? So you want to get on the throttle, which is good, but basically what I want you to see, where's the exit there? So there. So basically, you need to be flat here, like at least here, but possibly even here, and you can't do it because you've had to wait on the way in, or maybe even further back. So if I do this without getting upset. Like, so come in. There, you're having a couple of stabs at the wheel. So if we're coming in from a much wider angle, this bit right there. If you imagine, like, and I don't know where you're looking, by the way, because I can't see your eyes very well in the helmet, but hopefully you're not looking here. Okay, okay. I would understand if you were, and your hand movements suggest you probably are looking around here. But what I want you to be looking at is over here, like this exit, like, so I'm going to draw it. So I think you're probably looking here, and what I want you to be looking at is over here. And this is going to feel weird, and you've got this post in the way and all sorts of stuff. I know, okay? But if you imagine you've got like the crosshairs of a sight. I don't know if you're a rifle shooter or anything. You know, you've got these two crosshairs coming in, and basically, what you're looking for is get those things lined up, and then that's when you're going to go. Okay, you'll still be turning, but you can see as soon as you see that exit come into view, you're literally like, right, how do I get to that exit point as quick as I can in a straight line, pinned. And then if you're not looking further ahead, you'll just be like thinking about this corner here and trying to get that line right, but you don't really care about that. That bit's already decided. You want to get on this exit as quick as you can. Okay, so let's keep going. It does sound nice, doesn't it? So again, the only thing is you have a little couple of stabs. I hope this is like not too detailed for you. I don't want to like blow your lap apart. It's good, but the point is that overarching mesh is slightly pinching each corner. This is the thing. So you've turned in, and then you've come out, and then you've turned in again. And the reason because that you've turned in, you're going to hit that bollard, right? And it also made you a bit hesitant on the throttle. I think this next section here, you could absolutely hustle. I don't know who your favourite driver is, but if you think of a driver who really hustles a car, plug them into your helmet. Like they're who you've got. They just hooligan through here, and it will be a lot of fun and b a lot quicker. Okay, so at the moment it's quite smooth and precise, which is fine, but I think you've got a lot of opportunity in this sort of next sort of wiggly section to really just be quite assertive. And again here, see what I'm saying? So like I want you. So at the moment we're heading. So it's a repeating theme. So we're heading here. I get it. You want to get the car turned, but I'm saying get yourself out over here, open this corner up, and come at the corner from that angle. Not very well just drawn, sorry, but come at it from that wider angle, and like you want to, like I say, you're sort of almost backing in around this bollard so that you can get on the throttle earlier. Okay, just give it a go. It will feel weird. Just give it a go though. We should be flat now. We should be down the road already. This one again, I can tell like you're thinking about the right, which is good, but you could drive through that corner. You don't really have to lift. You've got a lot more braking capacity, and again, this next right-hander is quite quick as well. So we're just hustling. You want to be hustling through here. Just go easy. There's a barrier and all sorts of stuff. I don't want you having a moment, but if you want to know where the time is, these little lifts and these little sort of minor corrections are going to make a huge difference if you're able to pull them off. Okay. So again here, it's not. This isn't bad, by the way. This is all good. But if we want to find a time, these kind of half throttle situations, we need to get them much more assertive. So we're kind of like wait in. You go through this corner, kind of wait in. And what you really want to do is you get through here. You want to like again maybe turn in a little early, but I want to be flat here and don't lift until the braking point for the next little bit, and what's happening is you sort of go through and a bit unsure and sort of wiggling around. Okay, so there's more space on the exit there. I appreciate you want to go left straight away, but it's a fast left, so what you want to be is like on this curb over here, like run that curb and then just try and stick as much as best you can to that exit curb. And yes, it will throw you out right by the time you get to where this car is. Yeah, it will do. But you just trim it a little bit with the steering, with the throttle, just to experiment. But you should try and like be much more assertive through here, and you'll find a lot of time. Again, you're being super consistent at the moment, which is great. So let's just go with it. So because you see, there's a lot. There's a lot of road over. Try again. There's a lot of road over here, and again, it might be dusty. You might not want to go over there. And yes, there is this sort of right-hander coming up, but just from a pure time point of view and using all the road that you have, there's an opportunity on this exit. Okay, and the exit starts all the way here. Okay, so basically I'm saying, all things being equal, it could be you have a much more on the throttle all the way round to the next one. Okay, so on the throttle, don't lift, on the throttle, let the thing run out right to the right, and then you're going to get over. Now this next one's great. Yeah, so basically you want to do all of what I just said without compromising what you do here. Okay, but you'll be more in the middle of the road, you know, and you're going to have to work out how to get around that bollard. So it's always a little bit of a compromise, but through these sort of wiggly sections, it's just hustle mode, hustle. So I'm not 100% sure if you're flat through there. I don't think you are, but basically your car can 100% go full throttle through here. All things being equal, he says. Health and safety warnings, etc. But it looks to me like you've got a lot of space on the exit there. So just really go for it. Nice and smooth. The last couple of corners. That's brilliant braking. That's why, if you look at here, this little dot moving around, if I go move it back, it goes to about there. Can you see that? Now in the Garmin, you can find that section. It will give you a peak of what your longitudinal acceleration is at that point. I'm guessing it's about just over 1 and a bit or something, and that is the point that you can use as a reference for all the other corners, or certainly the ones where you're having these big stops like this. It's a bit of a shame with this one because this car here is kind of compromising you a little bit, and in fairness, you do well not to kind of run into it. So we'll just carry on with this corner as you were. I actually think the V-ing bit works out okay for you here. So just keep doing what you're doing on this one. If that car wasn't there, you could have let it run out a little bit wider and whatever. But I think you do great here, and you're better than you've done before as well, according to the lap timer. The little blend, again, you come off the throttle. You come off the throttle like about here. It's not. This is actually pretty good, to be honest. So there's a bit more road on the right. You see that curb? See this curb? And if you could get yourself half a car, this is a finer point, this one, right? But if you can get yourself half a car over to the right and open this entry up again, so that you don't have to lift, you'll see a big time gain here as well. Okay, I understand why you're lifting, because you go through this left and then the right hander, there's another bollard. But if you can, again, like the crosshairs, you want to get to this point here and then basically not be lifting until the start finish line. But you'll have to judge that one a bit more in situ. But I think there's a bit more space on the right that you could be using, which could help you with this lift. Okay, so let's just run it. It's good to get a nice little toe from everyone down here. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it works for you. Let me know how you go. Okay, bye now.